The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
You're live.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning into Armed Radio. I am Shannon.
And I am Mr. Bill.
And we're your hosts for Talk Live Paranormal.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to have everybody here listening to us. Want to start off the way we normally do, and it's the way we always should. Want to thank everybody in those military uniforms, anybody and everybody wearing a military uniform or has worn a military uniform, serve this great country. We want to thank you for your service, for everything you've done to make it so we can do what we do, and we can keep serving you as our nation's veterans the way the nation should be serving you, by thanking you each and every single day. Thank you very much for your service.
Yes, thank you very much for your service.
So, now we're going to jump right in. You ready?
Ready.
Okay,
wait, what am I ready for?
I don't know. I figured you... I have no clue. We're just jumping in with 2 feet running here. So, I don't think Shannon... You didn't work last weekend, did you?
Nope.
So I know I didn't. We were on vacation. We had a great time, kind of unwound. Went up to the mountains in Oregon, spent 2 weeks up there with my wife's family. Had an awesome time other than the smoke. Actually, you want to jump in on that one too. Anybody who can get it out to them and who listen to us, and even if you guys are listening, to all those men and women out there fighting those forest fires out in the western part of the United States. Please be safe. Please be careful. Please come home to your families. We've already lost a few people, a few firefighters doing this. You guys, from one volunteer firefighter to anyone that's a volunteer or gets paid, thank you for what you do. You guys are some of the hardest working people, and you guys are not getting paid enough for what you do right now, especially out there in the West. If there's fires all over the place. So guys, come home safe. Please do. Please. And also, from what I understand, there's a bunch of Australian firefighters out there fighting it. We got people coming in from all over the world to help fight these fires because people know how bad this is and how bad this could get, or how bad it is getting. So anybody and everybody who's fighting, and anybody who's taking care and helping out those firefighters, please keep it going. Please keep them guys going. There's a red balloon campaign going on Facebook. If you see that red balloon, keep it going. It goes out to those firefighters. I don't know any other way to support them other than to send them money or cots so these guys can get some sleep. But whatever we can do, please do it for them.
We can, if you got a link for that, we can share it to the page.
Yeah, I'll find it and put it on our page. Anybody who wants to go there just to look at it, I've already posted it on mine. All it is a red balloon. We ought to keep it going in support of these people, and around the world. All the people that are helping out, and I know there's actually fires going on. I think it's Greece or France right now, or Italy. There's a bunch of fires going on, so it's kind of a mess all over the place with fires. I don't know how much rain you've had up there, Shannon, but we haven't had nearly enough here. The ground's dry, everything's bad.
It's actually storming right now here.
Oh God, I wish I could send that west. Out of my father-in-law's house, and it's. He lives in a small town called Halfway, Oregon, which is in Pine Valley, which is one of the offspurs from Hell's Canyon. That's why I always say I have a wife from hell, because I can prove it.
Love you, Kelly.
But the smoke and everything is so bad that on the last 3 days we're out there, the coolest heat during the day was like 103, 105 with no humidity. It's just so dry. You can't stand outside for very long without some of the kids were just getting bloody noses from the dry air. It was nasty.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of sucked, but the vacation was awesome. We got to do a few things. No, we did not do any ghost hunting. I wanted to kind of go up to a couple of the mines that are up there. There's the Union Mine, an old silver mine up there. I would really have loved to went up there, but just because of safety and trying to stay out of the forest with motored vehicles, I didn't want to be the one that caused the other half of Oregon to catch on fire. Because then, Shannon, you'd be doing this by yourself. Otherwise, I'd be doing it with shackles on, and I don't think I'd want to do that. Oh. So, but Shannon and I have decided tonight we're going to do some news. So, Shannon, you want to give them the website they can go to for where we're getting it?
Well, before I do that, I want to give a shout out real quick to Adam Kimmel and them up at Madison. They had we talked about it within the last couple weeks that we were on. We talked about the MadCon event. That was done up at Madison Seminary.
Yes.
And they actually raised about $3,500 over this past weekend to donate towards cystic fibrosis. So,
bravo!
I just want to give a big shout out to them for doing that.
That is freaking awesome. That is awesome. Everybody who went up to it, thank you for helping support that one.
There was quite a few people that went up there that's been on our events. I've seen their pictures. Yeah, I saw all their pictures and stuff they were posting on Facebook or the whole weekend.
Cool.
So it looked like a good time, and I know Chad was there. There's a lot of video with Chad there being crazy Chad.
What are you saying about Chad? Chad's not crazy.
Chad's just full of so much energy. I don't know where he finds it.
That's an amen to that one. I have no clue where he finds that one.
He would look completely exhausted, but still have all the energy in the world. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. But other than that, we'll get back to this this crazy news that I pulled up.
So it's called Week in Weird, WeekinWeird.com. Yes. And there's some weird stuff on here. And actually, there's one that hits close to home and that I'm going to talk about. But I'm going to let Shannon go first because she got a whole lot more of them she already read up on. And it's all yours. Go, Shannon, go.
Well, this one is kind of crazy because I never would have pictured somebody doing this. But this it's cool that they're doing it. But, talking to another techie from one techie, you know what I mean? It's interesting. But the first one that I had pulled up, this article is actually from October 31st, from Halloween of last year. So I don't know if they already did the live 3D scan that they were talking about of this artifact, but they did do another 3D scan that you can see on the website. It's on the main page. But I'm just going to read you briefly the story behind this artifact, this haunted object. And it says... I don't even know. It's crazy. And if you guys go to the website, it's the main first big picture that if you click on it, it'll give you everything that I'm getting ready to read off. But it's interesting to look at this picture, the wooden artifact. It's just creepy looking. And I don't know if I would have been the two guys to take it home, but
was everything already on it? Is what I want to know. Or do they add?
Yes, that's what they said. But it says, while trekking off the beaten path in New York's Catskill Mountains, two hikers made a startling discovery. Tucked away inside of a cave sat a strange hand-carved statue with unsettling features. And I mean unsettling. It says six rusty nails. 6 rusty nails have been driven into its eyes, and a dirty length of cord was wrapped tightly around its neck. So... It says whoever placed it there is long gone, obviously, but it says at the end of it, despite their better judgment, the explorers took the figure home with them.
Wait, time out, stop. Despite their better judgment.
That's what it says. I mean, I laughed when I read it. I'm like,
did
really?
They have any judgment at
I don't
this
think
stage?
so. I don't think so. I'm just going to take this wooden statue with nails stuck in its eyes and a noose around its neck home with me.
Well, and so I'm looking at the picture, and
Okay.
first I brought I got the picture up. So I'm looking at the picture and I zoomed in on it, and my question is those nails are kind of new. Them aren't old nails. They're not like square nails.
I didn't pay attention to that. The thing was creepy enough as it was. I wasn't zooming in.
Well, I'm gonna, you know me. All right, go for it. Keep going.
But it says for the next week, obviously, the men who discovered the strange figure were plagued by frightening encounters with the unknown. The activity began, innocently enough, with strange knocks in the night and occasional shadow darting through the hall. But within days, the activity had gotten it took a terrifying turn, it says. As the days went on, the statue appeared to move around the home, seemingly on its own. Muddy footprints began to manifest on the floor, and the pungent scent of stagnant on water filled the house. On the seventh day, they saw... it says her. It says they saw her crouched in the shadows of the living room.
That was my question. They said they saw her, it looks like it's a dress.
Oh, carved in the wood?
Yeah.
You paid better attention to the artifact. I have the heebie-jeebies where I look at stuff like that and read stuff like this to where I don't want to stare at the picture very long, okay?
Okay, keep going.
But it says they're calling it the crone. The crone of Cattsville is what they're calling it. It says a horrifying apparition with I can't read. Emaciated body and eyes that shined in the darkness. So right away, because I'm a supernatural freak, I thought about the demon with the yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It said obviously they got rid of it, and it ended up going to. It entered the collection of the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and Occult.
Okay. Question.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you watch the video that's on here?
Which one? The one where it moves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Keep going.
But it doesn't move like I anticipated it to move, though. It kind of just teeters forward and then backwards and then forward and backwards. You know what I mean? It didn't
get up and dance the jig or what?
Well, yeah. But to me, it looks like, you know how you would take a video and fast forward it, rewind it, fast forward it. It was going back and forth. That's what it looked like to me.
Maybe that's how it moves.
It was getting jiggy with it, I guess.
So it entered the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and Occult.
Yes. Where the figure could be safely cared for. Its strange activity studied, and the frightening truth behind its creation shared with guests. And of course, it only took a day before the entity attached to the item began to lash out, ripping a figure of Jesus from a crucifix hanging on the wall. Only a few weeks later, the statue was filmed moving on its own, which is the video you were just talking about.
Okay.
Wet footprints were manifesting in the museum headquarters, and even more dangerous phenomena began to present itself. It was later retired from public display after a rash of frightening incidents which saw rampant sickness, freak car accidents, and even seizures occur to those who had come into direct contact with the haunted object. So, and even the people that did not touch the artifact, the object.
It's just the ones that saw it.
Yeah. So, the main reason why, I printed this article, it's a huge article and it goes on and on and on, and it actually tells you on the website, this paranormal, occult, the museum, they actually have a website that you can subscribe to. I think the cheapest subscription was $5 because I looked into it, but they have a lot of live 24-hour live feed that you can watch on all the haunted objects that they have. These people travel around with all their haunted objects and do these shows and stuff where people can come and see them. So
okay. Okay, but wait. There's one sentence you didn't read. So I want to read
Well,
this.
there's a lot of them I didn't read. I skipped over some.
The crone was retired from public display after a rash of frightening incidents saw rampant.
I read that one.
I know. I'm bringing it back so people hearing can remember.
All right, go.
Now I have to start over.
Start over.
The crone was retired from the public display after a rash of frightening incidents which saw rampant sickness, freak car accidents, and even seizures occurred to those who had come into direct contact with the haunted object, even though it remains strictly a no-touch list. Now, here's the next part, which should have been in the guys' heads that picked it up in the first place.
Oh, okay.
For these reasons and others, it had been decided that the crone must be returned to the cave from which it was stolen, as it appears to be the only action which appeases the restless spirit attached to the artifact. Well, duh. Hello?
Oh,
come on.
But first, the object will be added to the world's first haunted object database, a process which is much easier said than done. Now, this is what caught my eye with this article, is these people are 3D scanning haunted objects and then 3D printing them. And I thought that was interesting.
If you so if you scan an object and say you still have, and then you print it, and you have that haunted object still in the room, if the other one is in the room and it's printed and it looks identical, even if you take that other one out and the entity's supposedly going with it, couldn't it stay with the one you printed? Well, is it going to know which one it's supposed to be with?
I have no idea. That's the unknown. That's why we do what we do. We don't know.
I might have to get a 3D printer.
But I know, but they're expensive as hell.
I know they are. If anybody out there wants to donate a 3D printer, please contact us.
But yeah, like it was supposed to be the first ever 3D scan, but this artifact that we were talking about was not the very first one. The one that they did, which is they actually have a video of it on the weekendweird.com page, is an haunted object that they call Billy.
That's my brother.
And they actually go to 3D scan it. You can watch them doing it, but there's something in front of the object's face, like it's kind of like an oval blocking out the face, not allowing them to scan it. And it took them about what I say, the SpongeBob, about 30 hours. 30 hours later is what it says. And then they were 3D printing it already. So you didn't get to see the whole full scan, but you get to see what is like in between where they're trying to scan and whatnot. It was kind of interesting. And then they did an EVP session to try and figure out what it was in front of the face. And they got an EVP saying, "I don't want to be scanned." So that was pretty interesting too.
That is wild.
But the one that we're talking about, the crone, they were supposed to live 3D scan it to where you guys could watch it live. And during the session of them 3D scanning it, it says that this woman, Dana Matthews, co-founder of the museum, was supposed to be attempting the Estes method in an attempt to make direct contact with the crone. This method, developed by paranormal researchers Carl Pfeiffer and Connor Randall, shuts down the senses, which appears to heighten the subject's latent psychic abilities, turning them into a type of conduit for spirit communication. And it said she prepared for it and everything, but I couldn't find the video for that one on there.
What was that called that she did?
The Estes method.
Hold on, I'm looking that up.
ESTES. It said she spent weeks preparing, but that video wasn't on there. And like I said, I don't know if it's supposed to be. It was live the night that this was printed because it was Halloween of last year. So I couldn't find the video though. I tried to look for it.
So what is the Estes method? I don't see. There's a whole article here. I was trying to find it to see what it just talks about. It doesn't actually. Huh.
Well, it says here that it shuts down your senses, which heightens your psychic abilities.
Well,
turning them into a type of conduit for spirit communication. I don't know. I'd never heard of it till I read this article. So
I may have to look into that a little bit more. Maybe I could try to figure out how to do it.
You're doing that with the guests on investigations.
Well, we've heightened people's hearing and feeling by blindfolding them in the dark. But I don't know if that's the same thing.
Huh.
Sure. That's gonna be
interesting.
Yeah.
See what I started?
I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
But if anybody's interested in watching any of this, they have a 24-hour live feed of other haunted objects that they've collected. But to be able to watch that, you have to become a subscriber to their site, which there's a link for on their page and whatnot to get to all that. So that's all I have on that crazy article.
Okay, so I'm going to jump to one that is close to where I live. It's actually in Iowa City, Iowa, at the Oakland Cemetery. And the title of this one is Don't Touch the Black Angel. This cursed statue kills visitors to Iowa City's haunted Oakland Cemetery. Now, we'll get back to that part in a minute. Here's what it says. At first glance, you might be tempted to think the Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City is nothing more than your average suburban graveyard, but don't be fooled. Tucked away inside its iron gates sits the Black Angel statue, a winged figure so menacing that anyone who dares touch it is said to have fallen victim to one hell of a curse. The sorrowful 8-foot-tall statue watches diligently over the Feldvert family plot. I almost said it wrong. Feldvert family plot near the center of the cemetery, and according to the countless legends that surround the grave marker, if you fail to heed the warning and touch the faded black figure, you will die. No questions asked. The curse is one that has scared the late night thrill seekers for decades, and
You can't read either.
And while it might seem fitting to affix such a legend to a statue so eerie, the Dark Angel of Iowa City was once a beautiful monument to a woman's sorrow. Okay. I'd go into all this. It talks about how the lady died in her few years. They bought a golden statue, which began to turn black. I've heard a lot of different rumors about this statue. I've heard a lot of weird things about it. If it is supposed to be golden, that's the first I've heard of it because I've seen it. I've stood next to it. I got a little under the influence of maybe something one night, and I kissed her. So I've personally been to this one, and unless I'm talking to you guys from the other side, which means that
I was going to ask you, are you a spirit or are you really human?
Well, we're not quite sure if I'm human, but I've actually been to this one. I've seen this one. I've touched it. It is a beautiful object. We were actually told that it was marble. It was white marble when it was first brought over, and it has turned black over the years.
Oh.
So,
and it was put there in 1912.
Yep. So it's been in Iowa City for a long time. It's a cool thing, but again, about the death part, I know a lot of people that have touched it. It says right here, for obvious reasons, countless paranormal investigators have visited Oakland Cemetery with the hopes of capturing some of the strange activity associated with the Black Angel. They've often surprised themselves by walking away with something interesting, audio recordings of ghostly voices, and many have captured strange light anomalies, which are quite often seen floating around the cemetery on their own accord. We haven't done this cemetery.
You guys haven't investigated, or?
We have not investigated it, no.
I got you.
We may have to now. We'll have to go back and see how she does with me coming back. Da, 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 da.
Oh, it looks like the sci-fi people have been there too.
Yep. So it's actually, if anybody's looking for it, you can obviously Google map the Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City, Iowa. It's actually on the northeast corner, northeast side of Iowa City. You have to go through the whole college town to get there. So I hate to say it, but a lot of the rumors, I've heard different things about if you touch her, or you get near her, you won't be able to sleep. You'll have nightmares. That's the first I've heard of that you're going to die. But I've also heard that people who sometimes are of unpure of heart, they're pretty think they're pretty badass and everything, go up there and they do something, and sometimes they do change their ways. Almost like something gets to them and scares them, and they start being completely different people. So
what do you think about the one where it says a skeptical man who visited the statue with a group of friends, boasting about how he didn't believe in it, and his friends dared him to touch the statue, and when he did, he died on the spot from a massive heart attack?
I don't know. I don't know of any stories that I've heard about that one. Even more morbid stories involve pregnant women who have had miscarriage after walking beneath the black angel wings. Well, first of all, you can't walk beneath them.
I was going to say, aren't they like down at our side?
No, there's one sticking. Okay, what did my mouse just do? One sticking out, and it was pointing to the east. Well, sorry, towards the west. And there's a bush underneath it, so you really can't walk underneath it. And one of them is down. I don't know how you'd walk under them, because that bush has always been there since I remember it.
Weird. But I've same thing with the last story I just said. I've never heard of these, and the one I read was from last year. I don't know when this one was posted about the Black Angel.
2016, I think. Hold on, I'm going back up to the top. October 31st, 2016. They do a lot of stuff on October 31st.
They do a lot of stuff on Halloween. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time of year.
No, but I'll go up there and get a picture with her, and I'll post it on our site.
Yeah, do that.
So that way everybody can see us standing there together. And if there's other things that people see in the picture, please let me know and make sure that I... oh, wait, there's something else down here. What's this? I'm originally from Iowa City, and someday I want to possibly return. Even though I pissed off and... Well, there's people's names in here. This person said they'd been there.
Did they touch it?
I'm reading as fast as I can. Sorry, guys, this is the first I've seen this. I was going to read it, but there's some language in here that even I won't use, and I'll say anything. I'll say anything twice. I don't care. That's weird. They just keep babbling on about nothing.
Right on.
Maybe
they're under the influence when they wrote it.
I may have to spin up there tomorrow after work and take a picture. Because it's right up north from where I work. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do that and then post it to the Talk Live Facebook page.
I will do that. I'll get Kelly to take a picture of me standing underneath it.
And then, of course, it talks about the digital recorders dying, put fresh batteries in your FLIR. Towards the end of that one.
Yeah, I just saw that.
It doesn't matter where you are. If you go anywhere on an investigation, it does not matter how many batteries you have.
Should you believe the harrowing stories behind the Black Angel's curse? That's up to you. But the nice thing is about the Black Angel is that you can test its paranormal claims for yourself. The cemetery is open to the public. If you dare to put the legend of Iowa City's Black Angel's curse to the test, grab a digital recorder, put in fresh batteries in the FLIR, head to Oakland Cemetery. But whatever you do, maybe you should keep your hands to yourself.
Or your lips. Or your lips for in Bill's case.
Well, here's the problem. You can't, if you look at the first picture of her, it's not really, you can't really tell. But if you go down about 4 pictures where it's tall and you see the people, well, about 5 pictures where people are standing there, really the only way, I'm tall, so really the only way you could get up there to kind of kiss her is you kind of have to put your face in her chest. Hey.
So you weren't just kissing her.
Baby.
Was this before you were married or after?
I think I was 15.
Oh, hell.
16. Yeah. Yeah, I was young.
Wander in the cemeteries.
I used to sleep in them. That's the place I felt the most comfortable.
That's weird because how these last two were posted on Halloween, right? So when Beth and I went out in Trenton area by us, we went and did a cemetery. There's actually like 4 or 5 cemeteries within like a mile and a half of each other.
God, there's a lot of dead people.
Yeah. But we went into the cemetery. We were still waiting on like 1 or 2 other people. And while we're waiting, I think I said that I mentioned this before on a different episode, but we were sitting there waiting for the rest of the group to get there to investigate, and this truck pulls up, like just pulls into the cemetery really slow, stops with its headlights on and everything. Then it comes closer and it stops, and then it came all the way up to us, and then they were asking what we were doing, and it was like a couple. It was like a man and a woman in the front of the cab of the truck, and then like the back of the truck had like 6 kids in it, 6 teenagers.
Paul, what they doing out there?
I think they were from across the street. They lived across the street from the cemetery. But they got out after we told them what we were doing, and for about 45 minutes, fucking played hide and seek.
That's what we used to do.
Well, I've done that too, but like after we just sat there and told them that we were getting ready to investigate, like they're running around the cemetery. I mean, like they weren't being quiet. It was like a loud version of hide and seek.
I will bet you anything those people watch over that place, and they're probably the caretakers, and they did that so they could ruin whatever you guys tried to get.
Oh, well, they didn't ruin anything. Like I said, they were only there maybe 35, 45 minutes, and with the last person showed up at our group or whatever, the camera guy, and we walked around. I mean, we got a lot of really good photos. I don't think we were using the Phasma then, so it was like the walking around with the spirit box pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So, actually, I haven't taken my Phasma to a cemetery since I've had it.
You haven't?
No, I've never been to a cemetery with it.
We've done it a couple of times. Sometimes it's hard to get anything to come through, but we seem to get more to come through when you kind of get to some areas where there's whole families buried, and then you find a name of another family who's buried like real close to, like right in the middle of them, and they're not supposed to be there. It's really kind of weird.
Like they're not happy about somebody else being buried near their family?
Yeah.
Oh, and we almost got attacked by a skunk.
You what?
We almost got attacked by a skunk. And actually, Beth got really sick after we left the cemetery. We ended up going back to her mom's house because I guess her mom's 2-story houses had stuff happen in there. So we decided to go back there, and within about an hour of investigating there, Beth ended up getting pneumonia.
Really?
Yeah, she had a fever before we'd even left her mom's house.
What'd you do to her?
I didn't do shit. I was falling asleep on her mom's couch. We had a laser grid up, a green laser grid, and her mom's cat just kept going in it, and it was like everybody would stop and look, and it was just a cat.
That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there.
So, off the cemeteries. This next one I thought was kind of funny because it relates to Stranger Things on Netflix, and you said you don't watch it?
Nope. No, I've never seen it that I know of.
Well, I think there's only 2 seasons, and the next one, the 3rd season, don't come out till next year.
Okay.
But for those, if there are any listeners out there that watch Stranger Things, they'll be able to relate to this story. But it says the entrance to the real life Upside Down is hidden inside the paranormally active. Say the name.
Don't look at me.
I messed it up earlier. It's okay. This is how it's spelled.
Okay.
HOIA. That's the first word. Baciu.
Hoia. Hoye?
This is why I didn't say it. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay, we'll leave it go at that. All right, keep going.
Anyways, it's a forest. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Stranger Things, it's on Netflix, but it's a small town is forced to endure the paranormal when a local child goes missing into what they call the Upside Down, a strange version of our own reality where monsters lurk. It says in this article that they've found the real entrance to, the entrance to the real Upside Down is what they call it. And this, I'm going to call it the HB Forest because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
In the forest, it's the world's most haunted woodland and a place that many believe it is a gateway to another frightening dimension. In fact, HB Forest has been the site of so many different paranormal encounters that it might even give the fictional Upside Down a run for its money. Now, yeah. Now, granted, it says it's located in Transylvania.
Okay.
Which already, amps it up a little bit. Let's see. It first established its sinister reputation when a shepherd disappeared into its shadowy embrace. This might not seem like such a mysterious thing, as people tend to go missing in the forest all the time, but this disappearance was a little bit different, because he vanished with over 200 sheep. So not only was it just the guy that disappeared, it was 200 sheep. And then it says that's a pretty spectacular feat for a magician, much less a shepherd. It says the local villagers declared the forest cursed and refused to step foot inside, but this would just be the beginning of the bizarre phenomena that would terrify locals for centuries. So, and this one is really long. I don't think I'm going to read the whole thing. It is really long. Like 3 pages long. What? What you gonna say?
I stumbled on a completely messed up one.
A different story?
Yeah, a completely different story. I don't know if you read it or if you're ready for it.
You're already laughing. What makes you think I'm going to be ready for it?
The title,
oh God.
The Mysterious Metallic Boner of Victor Knorr for a better love life, rub this dead guy's magic crotch.
That's the actual title?
Yeah, I'm going to read it.
Oh my God.
Most men might consider it a dream come true to be the center of ladies' attention, but there's a man in France that draws countless women from around the world, all with one thing in their mind, rubbing his crotch. Unfortunately, he's been dead for a while. Hidden away in the suburbs of Paris lies Pierre Lefra in the Pré-Lachaise Cemetery, the current home of French journalist Victor Knorr, a man who gained considerable fame for angering Napoleon Bonaparte's great-nephew so much that the political leader's relatives slapped him across the face and shot him dead almost immediately. While his end may be anticlimactic, it seems his reputation as a ladies' man followed him even to the afterlife, because even today he's credited with help kickstart thousands of women's sex lives. So I'm going to jump down here. No one was quite sure exactly how or when the trend started. Jesus. But after a real-life-size bronze statue of Knorr was placed on his grave in the cemetery, women began to rub the sculpture's crotch for good luck. All of this, after all, is kind of hard to miss. Big old boner in his metal pants. And
my God.
The picture, it's a bronze statue. You can tell women have been rubbing it because the rest of the statue is
not
all
shiny anymore.
Dull. No, the rest of the statue is all green because it's bronze and it, ages. But women have rubbed it enough that the crotch and the boner are still bronze. And they shine.
Oh my god. This is where? Paris?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's freaky. Please don't give a close up of that boner. They as the story goes, placing those who place a flower in Victor's top hat, kiss the statue on the lips, and rub his genital areas will find themselves enhanced with enhanced fertility and a blissful sex life, or in some venues, produce a husband within a year.
Oh yeah, a year, huh?
Want to fly to Paris?
Where is that in Paris?
Want to fly to Paris and rub a guy's crotch, Shannon?
That's a long trip.
A dead guy's bronze crotch?
It better work making a trip like that.
I just love the title. The Mysterious Metallic Boner of Victor Noor. For better love life, rub the dead man's magic crotch.
And who was this guy?
He was a journalist who pissed off Napoleon Bonaparte's great nephew, and his
got
nephew,
killed.
He slapped him in the face and shot him dead.
Okay.
There are some weird
now
stories.
Now he's famous for his boners.
His boner, the boner of life.
Where the hell did you find that article?
I was just kind of skipping through them, looking for that one you told me to look for because I can't find it anymore. And
which one, the forest?
No, the other one.
Oh, the Huska Castle?
Yeah.
Huska?
I can't even find it. And all of a sudden I just look up and it's big bold letters. Boner, bronze boner of life. I'm like, what?
Well, before you threw me off track with a boner,
why, thank you.
Oh, there was one that I did want to say about the forest that I was reading about.
Oh, okay, go.
Because it says in the 1960s, a biologist named Alexandru Sift and military technician Emil Barnia both captured a series of strange photographs of a disc-shaped UFO hovering in the sky above that forest. By the 1970s, the area had become a UFO hotspot, with witnesses regularly capturing amazing photos of strange lights floating in the sky. The strange lights became so pronounced that a local university took interest in what had become known as the world's most haunted forest. Not that I'm going to go visit there, but...
that's in Transylvania, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, it says the most common theory about why the HB Forest is such a paranormally active location is that it is actually a gateway to another dimension, much like Stranger Things, the Upside Down, where unfortunate souls have been known to accidentally disappear, sometimes with a few hundred sheep. The scary part is that the gateways work both ways, and sometimes things from the other side can slip into our reality just as easily. So, and this one actually just goes on and on and on, but that was the basic gist of that forest. I don't know.
So it looks like we're going overseas.
Oh, to the Huska Castle?
Yeah. And then we'll swing by Paris and find you a boner and
a future husband. That's just funny.
Is so some of these titles that I'm looking at on here, it's you kind of look at it and go, okay, it seems like they're stretching. They're stretching a lot. Some of them talk about some very old, some. Here's one talking about the true sex identity of Bigfoot. Oh my God!
You were straight veering off the beaten path, Mr. Bill.
I don't. What?
Boners and sex and everything else. What happened to paranormal?
Well, it's on.
Is this off the same website? Is this off that Week in Weird?
I'm on like page 18 or something, or 14. It's just it keeps going on. Where was it? A high-heeled haunting, mysterious murder in Manila. Film Century's amazing show sparks ghost histories. Something about a ghost wearing high heels.
Oh my God!
True tales of gay and lesbian ghosts.
People can understand ghosts. They can't understand gay and lesbian humans. But they can
No-
understand the spirits.
No comment.
This.
It's amazing the number of things that the military is actually putting out now that they've had hidden, and people are suing them to put things out about paranormal stuff. The military's hiding it. The military's hiding it. I'm sorry, come on. If the military was hiding it, how do you hide a ghost? Do you lock them in a ghost cage?
Hey, now, Ghost Asylum, they try and trap them.
I know.
They could pull like a 13 Ghosts.
That was one of the movies I did not mind watching.
It was a good movie.
Yeah. That one.
Get off the boners and sex and stuff and tell us about this Huska Castle.
Well, okay, spell it again slowly, and I'll try to bring it up.
Houska
Okay.
Castle.
Let's see what we find. The demonic horrors of Huska Castle. Castle. The haunted forest was.
It's not a haunted forest.
This haunted fortress was built to contain a gateway to hell. Many of the world's so-called gateways to hell amount to nothing more than a creepy setting with a real spooky suburban legend attached. But then there's Huska Castle, a 762-year-old Gothic castle that was built to seal shut what locals believe is the real-life entrance to the underworld, constructed between 1253 and 1278 in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
The location of the massive mansion was specially chosen in order to seal up the mysterious bottomless pit where demonic creatures would enter our world after the sun went down. There's no pictures.
What?
Dang it. I don't have any pictures. Oh, they're trying to come in. Let's see.
It says here, at first glance, the castle seems quite ordinary, but upon closer inspection, one notices a few strange features, like many of the castle windows are actually fake. If you look closely, you will see that most of the windows are merely facades, glass panes behind which...
Facades.
Yeah, I totally messed that up. Glass panes behind which sturdy walls are built. Secondly, the castle has no fortifications, no water source, no kitchen, and for years after it was constructed, no occupants. This makes it clear that Huska Castle was not built as a protective sanctuary or a residence.
Another clue to the true purpose of Huska Castle can be... Castle? Thank you for the...
Just keep calling it Castle.
Okay, I went to an American shul. Another clue to the true purpose of Huska Castle can be found in the faded... I can't even say that thing. Frescoes on the walls of the chapel. Some of which were discovered to be the oldest in Europe. Dragons, a medieval symbol of evil, are being fought by Saint Michael. Scenes of the crucifixion are painted in stunning detail. A beautiful portrait of Saint Christopher will adorn all the walls. But the strangest is the painting on the left of the left-handed half-horse creature aiming a bow at a human. Now I gotta find pictures of this place.
You still haven't got pictures yet? There was pictures up on the Week in Weird where I got it from.
I know, but mine's not coming up like that. Mine didn't come up. The advertisements are blocking things out and all this fun stuff's blocked. I'm just gonna Google the dang thing.
It says, according to folklore, Huska Castle was constructed over a large hole in the ground which was known as the gateway to hell. It is fabled that the hole was so deep that no one could see the bottom of it. Legend has it that half-animal, half-human creatures used to crawl out from the pit at night, and that black-winged creatures used to attack locals and drag them down into the hole.
These
It is
images
believed
are
that
wild.
the castle was built to keep the evil in. That's what it says.
Oh, so I see what they're saying about those pictures. I have the pictures up. I don't want to play the YouTube video. Go away.
This was the one I was telling you about. That I think there's an episode that you can still YouTube from GHI, Ghost Hunters International. I think they did an episode here.
So there's a couple pictures of it in the basement where it looks like a temple. Some sort of a temple thing was built to cover something. That might be what's covering the pit. That is why. Oh no, it's a chair, and people are sitting in it. And that's smart.
It's a crazy looking structure.
No kidding. Well, someone actually took a picture of what looks like to be the well. It's bricked going down so far, and then it just keeps on going and going and going.
Oh, somebody needs to fly a drone down there with a flashlight.
See, now you almost got my brain going on the wrong thing here. I'm trying to keep this going the right way.
Oh, you're just back on the hole in the boner and sex thing? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm trying to buy a drone.
Oh.
That is actually pretty cool.
And in the episode of Ghost Hunters International, when they went there, I'm pretty sure that's the same place because the caretaker or the person that came out to meet with them before they started investigating had a dog. He brought a dog, and the dog would only go so far, and it'd start barking, so they couldn't take the dog all the way onto the property.
So even the dog said, "Piss off! I ain't going there."
Yeah, pretty much.
This thing is actually really known as a gateway. The castle is located outside. Oh, right outside of Prague. We were there. During the late 1930s, the Nazis took over the castles and carried out experiments on dimensional portholes. And that's why I've heard of this. Okay. In the inner courtyard, the skeletons of 3 German soldiers were unearthed, and all 3 had been executed.
Yeah, I remember them trying to communicate with Nazis. I remember that in the episode too.
Well, it makes sense now. So there's one part here where let me back up here. The legend says that on the site before the castle was constructed, there was a bottom cave pit locals believed that was the gateway to hell. It was said, it's hard to read because it's in so many different colors. It was said that there were the half animal, half human creatures inhabited and black winged creatures coming from it.
Right.
And in quotes, they have probably bats. The local legends say Hoska Castle, there it goes. The castle was built to keep the evil in. The castle chapel built directly over the gate of hell to keep them closed. When the construction of the castle began, local prisoners who had been sentenced to death were invited to the site and offered a reprieve for being lowered down into the cave and then reporting their findings. The first volunteer was lowered down, and after only a few seconds of disappearing into the darkness, his screams were heard. When the unfortunate fellow was pulled to the surface, his hair had gone white, and he was still screaming. The prisoner was sent to the insane asylum, where he died 2 days later of unknown causes.
Oh, that's the one with the guy that looked like he'd aged like 30 years or something within a few seconds.
A black dog is said to be attacking and biting people along a chain. Some of the sightings have lasted several minutes. Hey, this might be a cool one to go to.
Yeah, you get attacked by dogs, half animal, half human creatures that crawl out of a hole.
I call those X's.
And if you want to age 30 years, just lower yourself down into the hole.
Like I have hair to turn white. Demonic entities said to be seen in the chapel, strange moaning, screams, and voices in many languages are said to to be heard coming from below the chapel. Witnesses over the years have claimed to seen something in the area of the chapel that looks like a cross between a human, a giant frog, and a bulldog. Okay, what are they smoking before? What are they smoking before they go in there? A giant frog is what it says. On the third floor, the ghost of a beautiful young woman in a white dress has been seen. She is often peering out a window, but I thought the windows were fake. No one knows who she is, but she appears to be. Well, that's stupid. Why would I say it wouldn't matter if the windows are fake? They can still look through them. They're ghosts.
Right? That's what I lean up against the wall thinking the ghost isn't going to get me through the wall, but, it's kind of stupid.
Well, we have things that when we hunt, we call Kelly-isms, which would be my lovely wife. Like the one where we were doing, I don't even know where we were at. We were going to shut the door in a room and do a session. She goes, well, if we shut the door, how will the ghosts get in?
Kelly said that?
Yeah. The cellar is nicknamed the Satan's office, and there's even a throne assembled with the horns and a trident. A black-robed, faceless priest has been seen materializing in front of the throne and walking up the steps before vanishing. See,
that was a little more than what I got. Of course, I didn't keep going with it though.
That would be awesome. Is it really 2 minutes till?
It
Holy
is.
shnikes. Wow. Henry, wake up. Just want to throw you out there, Henry. I hope they're listening.
Yeah, so I mean, all these ones that I got were basically came off that website, and obviously they get a little far-fetched with some of them, I guess, if you go to like page 18 like you did.
Well, I was just scanning through them. Some of them were really weird. Some of them actually, what do you call it? They're really kind of cool. Like they've got some really cool articles on here. I'd check them out. Again, that was Week, WEEKINWEIRD.com, weekandweird.com. They have some really kind of neat things on here, actually.
Oh, yeah, they did. And even with the 24-hour live feed you can watch of the haunted objects was pretty cool, too.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, we're running out of time here. I want to thank Shannon. You're awesome. You're one of the best hosts that I work with.
Bill, you're awesome.
You're great.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you to everyone who's listening out there. Thanks to Jimmy, our producer up there, who's keeping us on track. We want to thank everybody for being here, listening with us. If you have questions, please let us know. We'll get the questions on the air. I didn't see any on our Facebook site tonight, so shoot us any questions you got. And Shannon, I think that I guess we'll
that's
see
everything, buddy.
I think so too. Hey, everybody, we'll see you in the dark.
Have a good night.